5.
It is fast and fancy at 5.
Hi. Happy Sunday. Hello,
Happy
Lawrence. How are you?
Sunday. I'm
Good.
feeling good. Can anybody guess why?
Go Dodgers.
Sorry for you Dodger haters out there. Sorry, not sorry. Really.
Sorry, not sorry.
It's
Hi,
Big W.
Carol. Nice seeing you.
We said, well, not goodbye officially because we're going to the playoffs, but Clayton Kershaw, the GOAT, final start of his career. No runs allowed. Amazing. And my man Shohei Ohtani, 55 home runs. So I'm just feeling good. Anyway,
Wow.
Heidi, hello.
Hello. 55 home
here.
runs. That's huge. We are here.
Yeah.
I think it's divinely timed. That was a busy week. There was a lot happening this week.
A lot happening this week. A lot of health related stuff in the news.
Yeah.
I think you're freezing up, but I hope you hear me okay.
Oh shit. I just told you everything was good.
I know. You know what? I'm going to make sure, like on my end,
it did
to make
freeze,
sure to.
Charlie.
I'm going to turn off my Wi-Fi.
It did freeze. Oh,
phone.
I forgot to do that. Yeah.
That seems to help.
Go upstairs, hun.
Too many devices trying to suck up bandwidth.
Hi, TKB. I hope you all can hear me. I should catch up soon.
All I know is there we go.
Let's see if it comes back.
Frozen to me over here, but I hear you.
Okay, good.
This is great though. This is what I love about doing things live.
I was just saying, don't worry.
Of course, but see, that's a lesson, right?
Right.
You make all the plans and then another thing happens.
Well, you keep chatting. Let me change my mic.
I'm going to keep chatting, folks. Hello, this is Fast and Fancy at 5. We're not moving that fast, but we're trying to get fancy. The internet seems to want.
Wow. Yeah.
It's like it's about as fancy as Fancy Feast cat food or fancy ketchup. You guys remember that the first time you were a kid and you read the ketchup packet and it said fancy? Didn't that kind of blow your mind? Because you're just kind of thinking, why is this fancy? This isn't fancy.
The commercials made it fancy.
This doesn't seem fancy. It's called fancy ketchup. Food. And I remember like McDonald's had fancy ketchup. I'm like, it's not a fancy place. What are we doing, Mom?
Oh gosh, you're gonna love this. So talking with the kids. I had a little tutor group this week that I have a little pod, and McDonald's came up. Okay. And 2 of them were like, "I've never touched the stuff," and then another kid's like, "It's not real food," another one's like, "Those ingredients are banned in Europe." And then these 2 friends of ours went in disguises. They wore disguises. They wore little things. They put themselves in outfits. We're talking like 9 and 12. And they went in and did an order. And this is their homeschool project. They went to the park with gloves and they dissected everything. And they're like checking the chemicals and weights and like totally dissecting it. And they did a video about it. And it was really cute. They were, trying to find how much plastics were in it, how much were actual ingredients. They looked at the ingredients in the store and it really just listed pickle, burger. It didn't do like all the millions of ingredients. It was so funny.
I love it.
Yeah.
Hey, Heidi, we got one more thing now that we're out. Oh, you were on it. Here we go. Yeah. Wind it up. Get the propeller going. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3. Oh, activate. That's part of the Fast and Fancy at 5. Got to activate your powers.
Yes.
Synergy.
It's the technology, but it's our vibes too. I think both Lawrence and I are just zinging today.
It is vibes.
We're just cracking it out.
Vibes are real. But yeah, a lot of news stuff, health stuff, obviously in the headlines this past week with the big, thing about the medication that rhymes with try it all.
Yes. And it's not supposed to be just that one, right? It's
acetaminophen.
Yeah.
Acetaminophen.
We have to be careful.
And
Hi, Carol?
I think, it's like an echo of everything that we sort of saw in 2020, 2021, where, it's like people you start to just see the polarization of society and the way that they respond to information. And it's fascinating, people unable to kind of separate message from messenger and what the actual message is and the science and all of the cult of personality stuff that goes into this. And So in my world, whenever there's these headlines, it's obviously my inbox gets busy. I have a lot of questions, a lot of text messages. Well, what is this? What is this about? But I think, overall, it's just the first thing you have to do is just go to the primary information and forget all the biases that you may have, and then, look at what's really being talked about.
Right. Don't look at the messenger, look at the information, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Some people are still big haters there.
Yeah.
A lot of haters.
Again, we're dancing around obviously a topic for certain reasons because, that's the sensorial nature of things. But there is certainly more than one, cause, if you will, behind these things. And there's a multitude of problematic things out there to human health, and in particularly impacting pregnant women, and so this is one of those things that it's almost like it's a funny thing because it's almost like there's actually decades of research that show, cautionary signals in the science, but suddenly, when things are political and
it gives it a whole new thing. Yeah, because that thing that rhymes with mime-a-mall, isn't it? Doesn't it say on there, "Don't give it
this
to
is a
pregnant
mime.
people"?
I'm miming it all right now.
You're miming it all.
Put in a box.
Yeah, it says it on the package, but
Yeah.
people are taking it to the nth degree.
Yeah.
And
And
again,
I
looking
think so
outside themselves though, right, Lawrence? Like everyone's looking outside themselves for answer than that
100%.
intuitive
But
approach.
what's interesting though is that when certain things, there's always like cool learning opportunities about what these things do in the body, and that's what I kind of love to talk about. It's like just kind of like look at what it does, and glutathione. That's one of the major things. Like if you were to overdose on Mymanol, the first thing that they would do in an ER setting is they would give you an intravenous high dose amount of N-acetylcysteine.
Oh.
Now, short for that, NAC, if anybody's heard of NAC, right? Now, you don't want to play around, just people out there in internet land. God forbid if you or anyone clinically overdoses on Mymanol, you're not going to be popping NAC, capsules at home. You want that high dose. That said, what we know in sort of daily maintenance doses of NAC, we can protect the liver, and we can protect the liver from insult from, against anything, that we're exposed to, whether it's alcohol or aminobin. So,
the liver
is certain
takes the hit, right?
Right. And these are certain good things to kind of talk about. And, glutathione is the kind of master antioxidant in the body. And when we look at what it's made out of, glutamic acid or glutamine, and then, as we get older, glutamine stores pretty much stay high, but we begin to show depreciable amounts of cysteine and glycine. So, that's how we can restore glutathione. Heidi, people our age, we're in our 50s, our glutathione, starts to go down. You can get glycine, straight glycine powder that you can do. Glycine is also found in animal products. It's found in bone broth in high amounts. That helps to boost up glutathione. That's a third of glutathione. So it's kind of cool, the conversations that I've been involved in this week, to just educate people on well, what's going on here with this? And what does it do? It's disrupting and reducing glutathione levels.
Yeah.
This is important.
That's important, not just for pregnancies too, correct?
All the way around, they found that endogenous glutathione deficiency, meaning the glutathione your body makes endogenously, was one of the number one links to poor outcomes of the thing that we had to deal with in 2020. So that being said, that's why I began really pushing glycine and NAC into those protocols back then. And that was kind of the first update I made on my protocols for the thing.
You got attacked for those, right? Censored, a little bit censored.
A little bit, yeah. Like all things back then.
Yeah.
Astonishing. You could take somebody in their 70s or 80s and restore glutathione to that of a 30-year-old. And this is documented.
Yes. That's amazing.
This is documented.
Yes. That's actual data. People like the
Actual
science
data.
route. There's data for that.
Absolutely. We got a data marker for that. So
I mean, I wanted to ask you this just on this pivot of the storyline we're going.
Sure.
Now, obviously, we're censoring a little bit, peeps, because there is targeting. There's also algorithms that do not like you still to share this information, even though it's mainstream news right now.
Read between the lines.
Yeah, read between the lines. But when you hear about like in utero or let's say a mother having a fever or getting sick, so she wants to take Mymadol. What I'm not hearing, and I wish I would, because this is something me and my little crunchy moms talk about, is what's the root of that? Where is that even coming from? Why are you getting the fever in the first place? Because you're kind of just numbing a fever, which is showing you a sign that something's going on inside. And what if it's just something else? What if there's a tooth thing? What if there's something?
Fevers are natural responses to, typically to infection, some sort of infection or some kind of immune response that the body needs to, increase temperature. The fevers are pretty misunderstood. What I will say is, and then again, just look this up for yourself. Don't believe me, but this idea that you have to get a fever down in the first place.
I know. I go toe to toe.
I would highly recommend looking into that. And in the case of, in sort of like when we think of fever in terms of response to infection, there's really, unless the fever gets to literally like 106 and 7, you're literally better off just letting it happen.
Or adults.
Anyone. Now, this is the thing.
Okay.
With heat stroke, this is the problem. So these are different fevers, and people don't. I mean, again, look into this yourself. But if you had a heat stroke, if you ever dehydrated, you're out in a hot desert, and your body temperature started elevating up 104, 105, you want to get that fever down, because that is the type of fever that can injure the brain.
I see.
But not all fevers are created the same, and that's all I'm going to say on that.
Okay.
But I will say that fevers are things that. So the first question, and there are
Blazer for the win. Sorry, I just have to throw it in there.
I got the fever for the flavor of Pringles.
Yes, hi Blazer.
What was it that Christopher Walken said? He had a fever for more cowbell. So if you have like a fever for more cowbell, don't take anything for it. Just grab your cowbell and go.
I'm here, guys. I'm frozen again. I thought my fancy computer.
I got a fever. Yeah. And the only prescription is more cowbell. I don't know if I could do a good Christopher Walken, but
that was awesome. No, that was perfect.
I hope you guys have all seen the episode, Saturday Night Live episode, the cowbell episode. If you haven't,
it's
so if you have a fever for more cowbell, don't take anything.
Yes. I'm still here. I'm working this out. Here we go.
Look, man, I'm just trying out material right now for my second job as a shitty internet stand-up comedian.
Hey, who's plugging my internet?
Holly.
Move out of this room, guys. I learned my lesson.
This is magnesium glycinate, by the way. It was not mime at all.
Hey, the whole bit is I'm coming back. Hold on. We have to make light of stuff, right? It's really still a frequency thing. So
just lean into it. We're vibing so hard that the internet, there's not enough bandwidth for these vibes.
There's not enough bandwidth for me right now.
It can't withstand the energy we're pumping through.
It's a one-man show right now. Whoops. Hey, get some Wi-Fi out of here, please.
Just blowing it out. It's like when your Nintendo cartridge wouldn't work back in the day.
Yeah. I'm gonna calm my energies down here, and you keep the show on the road here, pal. But you can still hear me.
This is
I'm glad you
Heidi in the dark. We're
Let
doing a confessional episode.
What if I just use her regular? I'll just use her regular. Let's just do that one.
I think it's working good. Beautiful.
We'll just
I love the background. I love the set you got going on. Everything is
it's kind of the only thing left in the house. We're still boxing up some things, getting ready for the real estate pictures. So
it's beautiful.
Yeah. Good.
It's beautiful. Yeah, you got a healthy glow going on. You got Bigfoot in the background.
Can I ask you a question before we get back to the headlines? Sure. How do I know if I'm even in perimenopause or menopause? Like all my friends are talking about menopause. They're like, you're almost 51. I'm like, I get a regular cycle.
Yeah.
It's healthy. Like what are the symptoms? Can we pivot, or are we still going to go to the in utero mime it all? But
Yeah. I mean,
seriously,
having
I
the
make
cycle
jokes
still
now
is.
perimenopause because everyone's doing it, but I'm like, am I in it? I don't know. I do get glowy. It's also the
Yeah. I mean,
blooding.
it's one of those things. There's, symptomatically. Yeah. I mean, if you still have a cycle, you're still in the game, Heidi.
I'm still in the game, right?
But
That would be fun. 50-year-old has
yeah,
a
temperature
giant's
fluctuations, and
baby.
there can be shifts in metabolic rate, body temperature stuff. Yeah,
Okay.
aka there's hot flashes or even chills or things that kind of temperature swings around.
Oh,
So
okay.
there's overlap though, because we've got in that demographic, sort of women in your demographic, there's a ton of thyroid issues that we've seen. We talked about those before, where because of the endocrine disruptor chemicals, these things are fat soluble. Women tend to have more body fat, and they can disrupt thyroid function, and so you get
Okay.
because thyroid controls metabolic rate, body temperature. So you get
Oh,
all kinds of
yes.
different hormone overlaps and stuff.
Okay.
Metabolic rate can slow a touch, where it's not as easy to keep weight down, or you're gaining weight where you ordinarily wouldn't with the same calories. But those are all
Okay.
things that don't necessarily have to happen to everybody.
It doesn't have to happen. Okay.
Right.
Glowing means Brego. Oh, I kind of wish, Jane, that would be kind of fun. I'd have a giant babe. He's right over there. Um, but honestly, and the weight, I was thinking, I'm like, is this it? No, I just spent like weeks and weeks and weeks eating ice cream 2 to 3 times a day in Europe. So and I'm like
That
eating
is
like
life, man.
I
And
was
that
living my
that
best life.
European ice cream just hits different, so
It
I
just
wouldn't even worry
everything hit
about it.
different, and I ate a lot of it, and home cooking and all that, and everything was
Yeah.
tight, so I knew it was that. But I'm in my routine again, so it's just kind of falling off. So yeah, I guess not to dismiss anyone's crazy symptoms, but I guess I've been lucky. I still sleep
Yeah.
great. I'm still,
Yeah,
other than the
these
random.
things.
But Scorpio season's coming, so there's that.
Yeah, and a lot of things that happen later in life are a product of things that happen early in life as well, whether, early maturation and, a girl getting her cycle at 8 or 9
Oh
versus,
yeah.
14 or 15. So there's some variance there, and that's going to play out later in life.
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Hi, baby
but
with the laser. Good to see you again. Hello, hello, hello. Nice to
got
see you
some of the
from
regular peeps in
Manchester.
attendance.
Yes, Manchester in the house. Thanks, Polly. Yeah, guys. So we have a playlist, Lawrence, of like 42 episodes, believe it or not. But we've been talking since kind of 2020, but not on a regular basis because we're busy.
Yeah.
But we do love having these conversations, and I have known him over 30 years. So thank you guys. Thank you for doing that, because it kind of boosts our little algo. And that playlist, though, Lawrence, and everyone in the chat, it's on YouTube and Rumble. I believe it needs to be, the playlist just needs to be updated. But such juicy stuff. You don't have to be a parent to go through it, because there was a season there that we were just going topic by topic.
Yeah.
And
Season 1 or
graphs
2.
and information, and it's like the dental thing, the mouth stuff is the best. I mean, all of them are the best, but literally, from sleep to your teeth to your eye.
Yeah,
I mean, all of to
we
your
had episodes
diet,
on, on supplements.
vitamins,
We had episodes
supplements.
on sort of, picky eating,
Picky
all these
eating.
different things that are useful. Yeah. So those
And
are
do
some
your
of
own
the
research was a really good one.
do your own research is a big one. And I think that's one that we probably can circle back around, maybe do a part 2.
Yeah.
But
Hi, Terry. So we have
really
Manchester
knowing
in Australia.
how to
Sorry, go ahead.
research, what that even means, right?
Yeah. How to
What it
research,
actually
what to
means.
look for. People still have their favorite go-tos, but honestly, doing it, I'm telling you, homeschool teachers, whether they're moms or dads, they're freaking great researchers, because you're compiling information yourself and you're cross-referencing, like, do I really want to share this with my kid? How am I going to deliver the information? So you turn into these researchers and you don't even know you're doing it. It's pretty awesome.
One of
Yeah.
the probably, if I could sum up the biggest thing I would recommend to anybody researching is always, 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 always intensely research the opposing side. Intensely.
Good one.
Beat the heck up out of your assumptions or those things that, the confirmation bias is one of the biggest issues, is when when we try to find items that support our worldview and point of view, and we build that up. It feels good to do that. You find things that support your point of view. It's more important to find the counter arguments, to find the other side, if you will. There's many sides, but let's, for simplicity's sake here, that's the biggest thing. I'd say, because that exposes the biggest problems that you see with people kind of on their own research path is they tend to end up in echo chambers, and you're not really prepared then in a conversation with somebody that's just finding different things. So really give the stress test to all of your ideas by searching out, and be careful with AI. Be careful. Be very careful with how you use it, how you prompt it. And again, always say, well, what's the counter argument to this?
Right. It can prepare you for those triggers too, because when you do have those confrontations with people, you're just giving your own info. They're just giving their own info. If you're prepared a little bit, you'll know what they're coming from. And you also know that is, anything you can think of, you can find research for and to support that argument. Anything. The internet is a wild, wild west right now of a plethora of info, disinfo, the works. But who's to say you're right from somebody else? But being a good human and having a good, healthy conversation is kind of where it's at. And if you get triggered by somebody, that's what you got to look into. So you might as well be well researched so you don't get triggered. You're like, oh, I know why they're saying this. This just came out on, that goes with geopolitical stuff too.
Of course. And when you said the conversations, right? I mean, we make assumptions, and assumptions are conversations that never happened.
Yeah.
That's simply what it is. And so we love to sort of do that, kind of assume what people think, and maybe they don't, and getting into a conversation. And, when you can start off granting the other person's side already, you've already sort of like found a common ground.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, I understand from what you see, because we all have to realize that what everybody's seeing is what they're seeing, and the world they live in might be completely different than yours.
Yeah. And for the last, 20 years, internet has been shaping their world. So they are literally going to find everything to support what they're saying and naysay you while you're doing the same. So there has to be a common ground of decent humanness of like, I see how you see that, pal. Doesn't resonate with me, but I see that. To
just grant another person's point of view respectfully, even if it's complete rubbish, even if you can factually destroy it, even if you just hate it from principle, like, a common point of agreement in that, hey, we see things, we can agree to disagree, right? That expression, it holds.
Hey, people can also, they can tear this down too. I like to look at what are these conversations, Lawrence, though, and like how I educate kids is there's an ancient wisdom to it. It's like the elders' way of life. The planet is giving you what you need, and it's up to you to make the appropriate choices. And I think everything is a choice. So hearing those headlines this week, there's been a lot of mama bears just thinking, Justice, thank you for bringing up difficult subjects that we were not being heard about, which was brilliant. But again, both arguments were made also at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, you have a choice to see what you are going to choose to do. It's not a battle of the right or wrong. I think at this point, it's about, well, what are you going to do now? What are you going to do? That's just more information. So how are you, the choice that you're going to make? What's that going to do to your family and affect your daily life? All that kind of stuff. Hi, Woo. Nice to see you.
Yeah, absolutely.
More cowbell. We need time for more cowbell.
Yes, more cowbell. Do it. I wish I had a cowbell on my desk.
Was there another shooting today? Oh, bummer, man. Come on.
Yeah, that is some sad stuff. That is some really sad stuff.
Gosh.
And again, it's some sad stuff. What do you say?
So without, again, in protecting this channel the way that we do, there's a lot of like, I see what they did there in many ways. Again, what's your perspective? What choice are you going to have in viewing some information like that? And how are you going to take it into your daily life and live? And it's intense. And we can go, this has been since I've been alive. I don't know about you, Lawrence, but even since my parents and grandparents have been alive, there has been stuff happening to our community, to our planet, to have a reaction, to get a reaction. And that's purposeful.
We
Insane.
live
Right,
in a
Blazer? It was time for that one. Yeah.
so
Our
live in
entertainer
a time period where people want to be first on the scene with the info, first with the story, first with the answer, and then that rush to judgment creates, it's sort of like, again, those assumptions and things that kind of come out the gate, and you just got to like wait. It's always kind of a good idea to sit back and wait for things to kind of come in a little bit, trickle in. But there's a rush nowadays for, it's clickbait. It's first, the TMZ feel. I got the story right away. I'm the one that knows, or, this is a this, and that's a psyop, and that's and it's just, and a lot of times, and then the squeakiest wheels get the grease, the noisiest theories on just about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the things that kind of tend to move their way forward.
Mm-hmm.
Things that are, really, really kind of, whoa, that factor, that wow factor kind of makes its way to the front of the line in our attention. And I think it also, that speaks to like choosing wisely of like, how you will emotionally take in information, and that ability, that kind of stoicism that it can be useful, like the ability to just hold multiple ideas in your mind at the same time and not, sort of be phased, and just kind of that's a sign of intelligence to really hold different positions and see them in a neutral standing, rather than just leaning on the thing you want it to be.
To play out.
That's
And seeing the
just
humanity of it.
human.
And anyone that
Yeah.
gets hurt, people that get killed, these are all tragedies. And
Horrible.
there's so many of us who are like, well, we know who's behind it. We know what happened. And we know, but the majority of the people on the planet don't follow that line of thinking.
They don't.
They're just seeing there's a death and this is tragic. So yes, we can go for days and days and days about how that was induced to create a loosh effect, which is an energetic. Do you study in your field, Lawrence, about like stress and loosh, and how just your temperament can affect your health?
Yeah.
There is a planet play. Which wait, I have to be careful with my words because we just said all that stuff about choose your words. Keeping the people sicker is pretty. We all kind of know that there's no money in cures and things.
There's an incentive, perverse incentive structure.
Get them low, get them dark, get them low, kill, bite, maim, harm, all that. So that affects you, doesn't it? Does it?
It certainly does. Yeah, and I mean it certainly does. And again, to our mind, the things that we take in with our eyeballs that go into our mind register to the brain as lived experience, whether we want to believe that or not. That's just how it works. Like if we're imagining or seeing or witnessing or replaying, and it creates some dark results. The end, it can inform the way that you may think about the world, where the world is, your perception of the world is that it's more dangerous than it really is. There's that, and that and that like underlying stress does play out over time. The chronic stuff, chronic stress, the subconscious picks these things up, and then just something like you're living in a dangerous world according to your brain, but it's not nearly as dangerous. Like the truth of it is we're in a very safe time, but the world feels very dangerous when we're exposed to, and that is how we are wired, because in a sense we're wired for safety. So the thing that could take us out gets a lot of attention, right? Because if one bad thing can take you out, right? 100 good things just make it good, but it doesn't threaten your survival. The things that threaten your survival are the negative things. So they get a weird placement. And so, so you have to be very mindful of that. Like kind of knowing that can diffuse that, and understanding like, hey, this is just sort of like where maybe the algorithm is taking me, or maybe where the news cycle is, and I'm kind of choosing to engage in that. But there's this whole other beautiful, safe, wonderful, warm, welcoming world that is wonderful.
Yeah.
That we can be in. And again, and you don't want to live necessarily like completely
right.
naive.
We're in
it's
denial,
not
naive and in denial. That thing. Yeah.
But the perspective of that, and that's kind of what I think what we're talking about here is just the mindfulness that it takes in this modern world. It's a different set of challenges.
Oh yeah.
We're seeing things that we aren't supposed to see in a scale that we just simply have no business seeing.
That's true, right? Before, we didn't have all this technology to know what was going on in other parts of the world. You did have, I don't know, just seems like it was a little healthier to do that. Do you think it would be conducive then for people to just get offline, just like take a social media break?
Well, I think that seeing when you have something powerful, it's with great power comes great responsibility. The internet is powerful. It's extremely powerful. Just because we've been living in it and we take it for granted, if you really, really were to step back in human history, this is the most powerful technology of all time. And with that, it requires a discipline and a philosophy of great power, great responsibility, being responsible for your consumption, being responsible for what you're bookmarking, what you're screenshotting, what you're sharing, what you're engaging in, and taking that time away, allowing yourself to have boredom, downtime, reset, walks, nature, quiet. Yeah, you have
Get
to be
out of the head
mindful of it.
and into the body, right?
Into the body. We talked about that last week or
Yeah.
last time we talked.
Yeah.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
I think we did a whole thing too on grounding. Yes, baby, with a laser. You saw me have a core in my eye. So speaking of Wales, he's going North Wales, Anglesey. We were just there. Amazing place. But I know Europe has its own set of circumstances right now and its own situation in the news and everything. But you get to those sacred grounds, or you get to here in the United States, you get anywhere, just get in nature, get grounded. What a beautiful place that you're going to get, just bring it back to one.
Yeah. You remember Starved Rock?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a real, I think Carol and Jane are kind of by there.
When I was, 14, 15, my family, we took a trip to Starved Rock, Illinois. Real beautiful place. I was in a bad mood. I can't even remember why, but teenage, just, being a pissy little snipe, not having it. Didn't want to be with my family that week. I just, but we got to Starved Rock, and I'm bringing this up for a real important reason. We got there, and the first thing that my brother wanted to do was, like, I have a brother who's 12 years older, is, get out into a trail right away. And so we just kind of literally parked the van and got on a trail. And honestly, within 5 or 10 minutes of being with nature and not even wanting to enjoy this trail, like really almost like, I had my mind set on being a grouch.
I don't want to be here. Yeah.
My mood completely changed. And I recall that, and it has stayed with me all these years later, of how much better I was feeling. And then 20 minutes in, I was feeling great. An hour into this, and like then the entire weekend was amazing. And I took from that something just at a young age of, like, that was just powerful to be in the trail, crossing the streams, little bridges, trees,
crossing the streams,
quiet, babbling brooks,
Yes, nature will charge you. Change you and charge you, I say, TKB.
Yeah.
Nature will
It
change you and charge
absolutely
you.
will.
Totally. Yeah, I think that's what happened with me. I brought it back to one. I know a lot of us, because we were just in the head. We talked 2 weeks ago about getting out of the head and back into the body. Been going to a lot of my old 90s music, the dance days, the rave days and stuff. Been just thumping it out. And but more nature walks, being out. And then my routine now involves in the classroom, which is such a high vibratory place to be, but we're outside all the time. So it really helped me pull out of these cycles. Not to say that I don't know that it's all happening. It's just what deserves your time, what deserves your thoughts, where does your mind need to go to get you to live your best life in your world. And your 3D world still matters a lot, the most, actually. How can you get there? I know we feel like we kind of repeat that kind of stuff. I don't want to just.
But it's like kind of like thinking of, you made me think of like a metaphor of, like, if you're going to go out in the rain, you can go out in the rain, let the rain beat on you and get soaked and get, but you can have an umbrella, we have a reasonable amount of protection, but you're still seeing the storm.
Mm-hmm.
But you're protected a bit, and just get the umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually an herb that I love to use called rhodiola for stress
Mm-hmm.
management, and it's kind of how I explain it to people. It's like you're not going to be tuned out like as if you were on some sort of a prescription medication that kind of numbs you. You're engaged with the world. You're seeing what's happening, but you're kind of protected. You got the umbrella over your head. You can see the storm. You see the rain around you, whether that's life chaos,
Mm-hmm.
call it whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
storm, but you're not getting beat up by it. You're not getting soaked.
Huh.
You're able to function within it and feel that way. And that's kind of like how I would explain, a good herbal,
What's it called? Rhodiola?
rhodiola.
Oh, nice. I haven't heard
Rhodiola
of that
spelled
one.
RHODIOLA.
Okay.
Rhodiola.
Nice.
Yeah, rhodiola is really great stuff. You can pair it with holy basil. It's kind of a nice stress adrenal formula. Holy
Mm-hmm.
basil also goes by the name tulsi. It's a tulsi plant.
I was just going to ask
In
about
India, it's
holy
a sacred
basil.
plant.
Mm-hmm.
So they nicknamed it holy basil.
Mm-hmm. That's a good one with the kiddos, I know.
And
More
the
ancient
smell of
grounds.
holy
I
basil
love
is
it.
wonderful.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh, yeah,
beautiful.
baby with a laser.
The place energizes you. I know where you're going. I think I was telling you, Lawrence, about that
Wow.
place too. Well, all of it's incredible, but going through that Snowdonia place, I could feel it come through my feet, come up and out, and then my eyes were like your background, but just like neon. It was just literally get energized. Thanks for bringing up the supplements too. So
Yeah.
good. What would be a good stress? Like, I know there's the downs, the lows, but what about just calming the nervous system
Yeah.
so there's not such a hard reaction?
Nasal breathing, guys.
Nasal
That's
breathing, really?
go
That's
to
the main
that.
thing? Nasal breathing. So
So
breath
the
work.
nose, the air, when air goes in through the nose, it reaches the bottom of the lung. When it reaches the bottom of the lung, you're going to activate parasympathetic nervous system.
Okay.
And that's actually less stress, rest, digest. That's how you would remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Parasympathetic, bottom of the lung. You need to get through the nose. Right? If you're breathing through your mouth, you're going to be overstimulating the top part of the lung. You're not going to get air down into the bottom of the lung. And so the top part of the lung is kind of wired in to the sympathetic nervous system, which is fight or flight. And so that day-to-day kind of mouth breathing puts us in sort of a default of anxiety, whether we know it or not. And digestive issues, so again, less stress, rest, digest. Digestive problems can improve through nasal breathing as well, or doing a round of things like box breathing, 4 or 5 rounds of that before you eat your meal. If you have issues with like digestive problems, but you're also suffering from anxiety, there's a lot of stuff overlaps. There's a gut-brain connection, of course. So yeah, that's the simplest. It's cheap, as in free.
Breath work.
And a lot of people don't realize that they have a deviate septum or polyps or something that's impacting breathing
Wow.
through their nose.
For
If
anxiety
you're
and stuff
waking
too,
up in the
that's
morning
insane.
and you have a dry mouth, you're probably breathing through your mouth all night and not really getting proper oxygen levels, get hypoxic through the night, not
Yeah.
getting good restorative sleep from that.
Dang.
So that's kind of the first thing,
Mhm.
to get into your body through the breathing. Quickest, easiest, cheapest way to do it. And there's other things. Getting outside to walk outside is ideal. It beats being on a treadmill because of this effect, this novelty effect we've talked about. So all that stuff, just reminders.
Mhm.
And from a food thing is a good balance. Again, just good old balance of protein and fat. The right kind of carbs.
Mhm.
That you're not going too long without eating and feeling cranky. Blood
Ah,
sugar dropping and stuff.
so taking care of that meat suit, basically. Now, but with children, especially, get that breath work. Forget there's so many children that it's just a different way of development nowadays. So their airways, everything's kind of blocked.
If
Dental
the
and
child
everything.
has like a thin face, underdeveloped jawline,
There's a lot
probably
of
breathing.
C-sections now too, right? Because that's another thing. Going through vaginal birth actually helps with everything getting in alignment. There's a purpose. Sorry to
And
interrupt
the
you
gut
there.
flora, right? When a vaginal birth is going to lead into like inheriting certain flora from the vaginal canal, where when you're born through C-section, it's whatever the room is going to offer. So the immune system's informed differently. So yeah, and you have a different immune response. So there's, I mean, a lot of this stuff goes right back to the time you're born, right? So
yes, which is crazy.
it's pretty
Hey,
crazy.
quick little energy blast to Woo, Derek, to our love to Desiree. Sounds like she's going through some serious medical stuff. And we know the power of what this can do. So we're all sending you all that good juju. Could use some prayers for my significant other. She has some serious medical stuff going on. Really appreciate been difficult year for us. So sorry to hear that,
No,
Woo.
prayers.
And yes,
Is there a name that we could pray on, or you don't have to give
Desiree.
one? Desiree's the
Desiree.
name.
Yeah.
Desiree. Pray
Yeah.
for Desiree.
Yeah. Dang. And yes, Baby with Laser, isn't St. Michael? Is it this week? We're having our school's doing a little our Lychee and the Serpent, the St. Michael play next week. Second graders usually do it. And yes, about the inner light and fighting the dragon within. And it's such a beautiful time of year. Now I have these fifth graders and we're still getting really powerful about that, like standing firm and making sovereign choices and confidence. TKB sharing that my son has been preaching breath work or breathing work. That's
it's
so
important to have
much.
that conversation with a child. I believe too that everything doesn't have to be right. That there's a desire a lot of times, and we do it with fellow adults, but with children especially, that there's going to be times that life won't be easy.
Yeah.
And that is actually okay. And the idea of like that it'll be okay even if it's not okay, that it's going to be hard. There's no, that way you're not kind of leading them down this road of like, well, if it's not perfectly okay, then it's forget it.
Yeah.
Or when you tell a child that they're okay, everything's perfect and fine, there's a part of them in the back of their mind like, well, if that's it, then this is kind of sad, right? So you have to be careful, like,
or they don't trust you.
There's a realism to life that it's
right.
okay to say there's some things we can work on, right? This is cool opportunities. Like there's some things to improve on, and children are engaged. The thing of like peak human experience is always that when you're on the edge of kind of like chaos and order, that you're struggling enough to be challenged and stimulated, right? But not overwhelmed. So it's okay to like walk children into challenge, or to present challenge as like a thing of growth. Like, what did you try and fail today? That's like a good thing to talk about. Like, and rather than just counting every single success and then, it's all or nothing. You got to win or you lose. It's, hey, what are we kind of working through right now? And, I think because that's where kind of happiness lies, joy lies, meaning lies. It's in that state where you're just kind of being challenged. If we take away all challenge, a lot of meaning evaporates, and then you end up with, depression.
Yeah, there's no things to overcome.
Right. And kids absolutely need that.
Yeah.
They need that. We owe it to them.
We absolutely do. Absolutely. It's funny that I saw again, you were saying we try our best to keep bioengineered food away from our kids and processed food. We certainly do. But I also think this is, again, it's going back to the power of the mind. I had that conversation with those kids this week is, even if you might not be having the best thing, there is a power of thought of how you say, well, this, like we were talking about in the desert. If you're dying in the desert and you see a Twinkie, the Twinkie will save you.
Twinkie will save your life.
It's not going to kill you. Yeah. Right. So it's if that's what you have, then you thank it for what it is and sustaining you, and let it move through you. The stress behind it is the yuck part, I feel. I always share that little tale of my friend who did every possible thing you could do for biohacking and stuff, like everything you can think of. Yet she died of her dark heart, like her heart of her bitter, her stubborn, bitter, and like not letting go of the past, no forgiveness. She did everything. She cleanest eater, grew her own stuff, Scooby machine, whatever, like biohacking everything. And her heart gave way because it was her brain could not let go. And so I just feel the brain is the most underrated thing of our health. It's our choices and things, right? So, I mean, we do what we got to do. When we were road tripping, man, we were fast fooding it up the wazoo. And it was interesting to taste how different they were. Yeah. Well, after a while you lose the taste, but you know,
But
especially
put
overseas.
an amount of gratitude into that every time.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, yeah.
especially like that time where I'm thankful. Well, I'm thankful for this insert fast food item here. Like it's these things matter. It's not
Yeah.
going to be
Yeah.
perfect. These things
Uh,
definitely matter. 29th, St. Michael's Day.
yeah, St. Michael. Firmly on the earth I stand, my guile sword within my hand. Okay, I won't do it.
Nice. Do it. Yes. I was
Oh,
just sitting back. I'm feeling it over here. Let's
I'm
go.
gonna have to share some of these songs. It's pretty great. But you should see just the chorus of kids like my guile sword within my hand. Because they're like slaying, it's about slaying the dragon, like face conquering what your fears and slaying them, like just standing up to it and slaying it. I have to tell you, so I just realized you said you said something earlier, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's been in my medicine too. I have been in, and Carol and Jen can attest because I've been sending talk texts. You and I had an exchange at the end of our last taping. We were just heavier, right? We were heavy. We had to let some things go. But for the last 2 weeks, when I go to bed, when I wake up, my first thought is I'm grateful for my family. Like, we are well. I am so grateful. And I just blast the family with some love and gratitude. And it's totally shifting what's happening in our world. Things are getting a little easier. I'm telling you, this little sucker right here. And that's why they try to get you, right? With the medals and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got to talk
about the more the sort of it's a tricky thing to master, but when you are getting it right and you can go, I mean, I've gone on these streaks where it's like the more you sort of agree, the more agreeable things get, and you kind of start rolling that that ride of gratitude, and this universe provides like in the most unexpected and beautiful ways, and you're challenged in the times when it's hardest, the pray for patience and you get the line at the bank, right? We talked about that, right? That it's just, that's what it is. It's like you pray for this trait, but you get the thing that will give you the challenge needed to discover that on your own. It's not just handed.
You're not handed these
give
things.
me patience. You can't have patience without a setting to practice patience. You don't just get it.
Yeah.
Here's the line at the bank, dude.
We're not all Verucas from the chocolate factory.
Here you go. I put you in the position to discover that. And that's that's how it goes.
That's how it goes. We gotta let the kids.
Who we got here? Woo Riders. Ditch the soda, drink almost water. Felt way better. I'll tell you what, man. Ditching soda was the number one thing that changed my health around at age 22. Coming up next year will be 30 years of quitting soda. And it was that was the big game changer. So I would agree with that. That's a huge one for a lot of people.
What do you think of the new sodas? I like those like poppies and stuff. The ones that aren't bought out yet. Or which one is bought out? Like the probiotic one?
There's some of the like bubbly, like Olipop. Isn't that one?
I like
that
one.
Like those are all cool. Like
they're cool. You get the rush.
You don't get the high fructose corn syrup, phosphoric acid, and all that. It's just more like, and if you like sparkling water with, you
can juice it up.
Fresh fruit.
You can juice that one up.
I like that. We got a Foley guy back there.
There's a party in the kitchen, man.
Got a Greek wedding going on.
Celebrates the honor of St. Michael that defeated Satan in the war in heaven. Yes. So, and then the tales, this is what's happening. This is the celebration today. And they celebrate it in Waldorf schools too. Our thing is about the dragon within and slaying, because I guess they're not doing the whole, but it could be a religious look talking about Satan and things, but we're talking about the dragon, the darkness,
Well, all of these are,
it's all
of these are, deep, kind of deep-rooted, allegorical, these stories are timeless, whether it's the dragon or Satan, the hero's journey, ditched, pray, and patience. What did it say?
Ditched, pray for patience long ago. So patience for it to come, I believe.
Here's a word, patience.
Patience. That's awesome.
Patience.
Yeah, good old sugar. When I met him, he came from Europe and he was all about Coca-Cola. And I'm like, I know you like these things, but they're different here. It's not
It's like
the same.
the Mexican Coke, right?
I
learned
Mexican
about
Cokes.
Mexican Coke many years ago, and
there was
certainly
a food fight.
different. Food fight in Heidi's kitchen.
John Belushi. Yes.
Is that John? What did you hear in John Belushi's voice?
Jane said, "Food fight in Heidi's kitchen." You heard.
So I went to a same college as John Belushi, and my acting instructor he taught Jim and John Belushi. So Kurt and I both. That's where I met Kurt.
Oh, that's
and
so fun.
Our professor, rest in peace, Craig Berger, he used to tell us stories about the Belushi brothers.
That's awesome.
Believe it or not, he said that Jim Belushi was the stronger improv actor.
Really?
But he said if you gave John a script, he was just unbelievable at taking the thing off the page. But Jim was actually the stronger improv performer. Kind of interesting.
Improv. I actually did hear that about John. Like he would just be like, got it, like a soap opera guy. He could.
Yeah, like he was quick study off the page.
Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
there's a scholarship at the school called the Belushi Scholarship for that. So.
Oh, that's cool.
And our buddy Kurt was in the Blues Brothers.
Oh, he was?
He was one of the orphans. He was an orphan with Cab Calloway. He's on there on the screen. He's credited. He still gets royalties. Shout out to Kurt.
He still gets royalties. Well, he is now a part of Yachtly Crew, man. The ultimate yacht rock band.
They are unbelievable. Touring the world, man. But yeah, he was one of the original orphans in the Blues Brothers. That was John Belushi taught him and the other orphans how to make snow angels. They were shooting in the winter time.
Really?
Fun fact, Lawrence. Cute. Yes.
That's awesome.
Fun fact of the day.
That's awesome.
And the Blues Brothers is an absolute classic.
I love it. I think it's great. That's a definite Chi-Town move right there. What's another Chi-Town movie? See how we're moving away from
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, yeah.
Any of the John Hughes movies are shot in Chicagoland?
John Hughes, classic. I was an extra. I was in Groundhog Day because I was out in.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you? I make a Groundhog Day joke.
Oh, yeah.
Like same old on the set, huh?
Same old. Chicago had some good movies coming through it for sure.
Some good films.
I'm going back to the brain here, but this is what it's about. I think community, having fun, high vibe chat, having a laugh. Oh, I saw a play last night, and it was like standing ovation, but it was hysterical. You would have loved it. Talk about Foley. There was a little side band. It's based in the 60s. And for every little joke they did here, they were doing sounds.
It's like a noise.
It was it was a ride. It was a ride. We got up, it was over and you're just like, whoa, but zinging and slept like a baby. And it's like, that shit is important. That's important to your health. It's important to your wellness. Yeah. Have a deep guttural laugh. And when the whole room's doing it, and then you get that standing ovation, and I cry for those all the time because you can just feel the love.
Yeah.
Oh, so healing. Such a good vibe.
These are important things that just simply cannot be replaced by anything. And make that list, make that laundry list of the irreplaceables, and get after them, and don't forget them, and keep them alive and nourished and well.
Yeah.
Family, friends, laughter. We need all that stuff. We need the real stuff.
Yes. We need the Blazers in the world.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
An Animal House.
Penguin?
Excellent.
Excellent yes. Stuff. Food fight.
It was classic.
Well,
the zip part killed me as a kid. Absolutely killed me. It was awesome.
There's some great movies back then. Meatballs and Caddyshack.
Oh, yeah.
These are just fun. Stripes. I'm just thinking of this kind of.
That's our generation. Yeah, that's our generation.
My brother is very much like he's very much like Bill Murray.
Oh,
my brother, so it reminds me a lot of. I don't know if you've ever saw the picture on Facebook when I put a picture of my brother and Bill Murray next to each other. I think Royal Tenenbaums. Not Royal Tenenbaums. Life Aquatic.
Oh yes, that was a good one.
My brother has a ski cap on and the sunglasses.
That was so cool.
He looks just like him. It's hilarious.
John Murray used to hit on me all the time. I was trying to find them some DMs to share some pals, but when I was working at Improv Olympic, I met a lot of
the Murray clan,
one of the Murray brothers. He was relentless.
I went to high school with Bill Murray's nephew. Sean Murray went to my high school. Yeah, Bill showed up at the basketball court one day. We were playing basketball. That was the highlight of my life.
Oh, did you play with him?
Oh yeah, and he was like great.
Sweet.
This is like 1991. He was peak, and that was probably around Groundhog Day, maybe Groundhog Day was what year?
I think it was late 80s.
Hey, Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, I was driven.
89?
I think.
90,
Oh
91?
gosh, 90? When was
I
it?
remember
I feel
having
like
a
I was
crush on
dropped
Andy
off, so I couldn't
McDowell
drive.
from that movie.
Oh yeah,
I did have a crush.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
probably early 90s. Anybody?
Yeah, someone might get that.
Anybody? Sleuth that? I could look it up.
What's funny? Speaking of, there's a SNL dude I dated for a minute, the ladies' man, the gigolo ladies' man. But he was behind, off the camera, quiet, shy. There was no funny. There was no 93. No way. Why was I driven?
93. Okay.
Maybe I drove myself.
So it was a couple years before.
No way. I was graduating high school, so I thought my mom dropped me off. That's our story. Wow. That's what I remember. Maybe I did in my car then.
It's a classic movie.
That's so cool.
They should just do a sequel and just release the original as the sequel.
Yeah, that would be great.
Groundhog Day 2, the movie, same one. Just I don't know. See what I did there.
That's awesome. Well, here's our
Heidi, here we are.
Yes,
we're heading into.
Thank you for having that laugh. That was good. And you're pumped with the Dodgers win. We've had, good shows, gratitude getting out of the mind into the body.
Just a good vibe Sunday. Shout out to my dear. So yesterday was my dear buddy Rob. Rest in peace. It was his birthday yesterday. So.
Aww.
And I had some interesting signs yesterday while out and about that.
From him, did you? Oh, that's beautiful.
Rob was kind of around, let's say. So it was cool.
That's awesome. Well, big shout out to Rob. Yes, definitely rest in peace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lauren. Yeah. Yeah. They were sharing some love. Perfect. Oh. Well, yes. Thank you, Lawrence. Hope maybe I'll be seeing you soon. I want to really thank you in the chat. Thank you for playing with us. I mean, I consider it playing, really. Thanks for participating, bumping those algos, showing support, but chatting with each other, but also just bringing the fun. I love this little community, so thank you for that. And I look forward to doing this again. I really, honestly, it's so funny. I thought our whole conversation today would be about what happened with Mr. Trump and RFK and all that, and we just tapped on the beginning. But honestly, the rest of it was more important in a way. It was like our choices of how we are choosing to live our lives as sovereign civilians of free will is the most important thing out there. And
it's everything.
Yeah. Stop giving your power away to peeps. And I just want to give a shout out. I am grateful because there are a lot of us moms since 2015 who have been trying to talk about a particular thing that's been going on with our children, because we are seeing the results of that. And thankfully, whether anyone stands by it or not, it was very important what was said this week about spreading things, making choices of things, So thank you to the administration for bringing up a very difficult subject that has been really brought a lot of us moms together. If it was not for that subject, I wouldn't have found my little community I'm in now, to be honest. So I'm just happy that it's coming to surface and making conversation. I can give that much. But I also know at that time I had to make a pivot. I wasn't getting the support and help we needed. So we had to make the choices ourselves, and we thrive in the long run. You're not stuck. You're not waiting for saviors. You're making these own decisions
Couldn't
yourself.
say it better myself.
So thank you guys. Thanks for the kitchen show.
Yes.
I know. I hope. I bet it's cleaned up. I think that was my little hucky pie. Thank you, TKB. Thanks, Daryl. Oh yeah.
Thank you, everyone, man.
You do know that.
And whoever's going through anything, I'll send my love in my purse.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
That this week is one that brings you all the good news.
Yes. Thanks. Hey, Baby the Laser, have a wonderful time in Anglesey. Wishing you, that's Halloween, so we might see you before then, but have a beautiful, epic adventure. And folks, just go offline a little bit. We love each other online, but don't forget to ground yourself and enjoy this beautiful planet that we have too offline. So We'll see you on the next one. Smell you later. Thanks, Lawrence.
Peace.
Peace out.